understand that it's my beautiful wife who is the gender expert in the family. And I know what you're thinking. One gender expert per family is enough. But that being said, my wife has always been an energetic and passionate feminist. In fact, about 2 years when we first moved in together, one day I had the audacity to ask her, Savit, what's for lunch? She turned around and said, Yusuf, when you met me, was there a kitchen? Now, that being said, about 2 years ago, you know that she started her master's degree. She joined the University, and she had, for 3 years, she went to classes, went to seminars, she read books after books after books. She loves those books. And during the last 3 years, I have been solely responsible for over 4,000 years of women oppression. That's right. I don't understand why, but the gender issue is always accusatory to men. You did this to me, and yes, I have Savit as a wife, so I'm responsible. But that being said, she recommended for me to watch a movie, and it's a movie that I would recommend for each of you to watch. If you have 10 minutes in front of the internet, it's called Oppression of the Majority. If you haven't seen it, you should see it. Because in that 10 minutes, everything you need to know about gender is there. And even I, who used to say, gender again, now I want to start the conversation. Because in that movie is a story of a man throughout the day, dressed in shorts and with a buttoned up shirt. Yes, why else would I wear a shirt? I ask you. And in that day, he was just going out and you would see what the different things that would go. And the world that he's living in is actually a world where the roles are inverted. The men, I'm not saying that the men are acting all feminist and stuff, like they don't have spinal cord. They don't want the men, they're real men, but they're really nice. And when they really get angry, they don't fight, they make full sentences. The women, on the other hand, you'd see at least 2 scenes where 2 women are jogging without topless. And when I say topless, boys listen. I mean, bare chest. Because in that world, it's totally normal. But the men are all covered. Yet this man, let's call him Sammy that day decides to wear a short. And because it's a really hot day, I won't tell you about the rest of the scenes, but this one I always remember. It's the most simplest scene, but I'll always remember it. He's riding a bike, it's sunny, it's so fresh, and then he turns around this way and that way and goes like, enjoys the wind. Because as he rides the bike, as it's sunny, and he just likes the fresh air on his chest, and it's so good. As if he has no right to do so. As if anybody sees him, they'll start saying on the radio, look at this man, they're like wearing all this kind of inappropriate clothes. And that is very, very big in our day-to-day lives. Because as men, I know I grew up, at least 2 mates hit me saying, you're not allowed to go inside the kitchen to get yourself in jail. I'll get it for you. I know that lots of people brought little babies for my little daughter. And technically, as Savit would explain to you, that is a way how we teach little girls to start thinking like mommies. And if we continue this conversation, you will see that in our day-to-day lives, I'm not the only one who's stand accused of more than 4,000 years of women's slavery. It's each one of you, including the women. Now that being said, when you think about it, looking at a man bare-chested, doesn't matter if he has a big tummy, doesn't matter if he has all the hair on his chest, it doesn't really matter. Seeing him bare-chested is totally normal in our society. But, just 1 month ago, guess what the headlines of BBC was on the evening news? The whole night, the miniskirts of Kenya. Because the miniskirts of Kenya are so getting, they're so proliferated that they're creating more and more, let's say, gender-based violence. And if you start to think about it, for the last 4,000 years, we have met, as men, take what we like. And if we see a little lady with a nice miniskirt, if we like it, aren't we supposed to take her? And yet, the conversation on the radio, and my evaluators on the radio who confirmed that, would be that, ladies and gentlemen, that girls today, you know, they're dressing badly, and this is leading to more and more bad things. Because I think that would be the easy solution to have. Because that would mean that in those only, in a short period of time, we would reduce, you know, what is currently happening. So if everybody, you know, dressed until the nighttime, there would not be any more violence. Because it would be much harder to change what was happening for the last 4,000 years for men. Who wants to tackle the men? Let's just, you know, tell the girls, dress up, please. A friend of mine has these jokes on his phone, very, very offensive jokes. And he had the idea to send it to a friend of his who's a big feminist. And the joke read, how many feminists does it take to change a light bulb? It's a trick question, because feminists can't make change. And the girl, when she read that, she was so offended, so mad, and he showed me the text. And if the text had personality, if it could come out there, it would say, how many Massachusetts do you think you could change to change the light bulb? And the answer is, trick question. Massachusetts do not believe in change. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to start